Finding the right food for your furry bestie is a science of its own, and it might take some time before you try to find the brand that works and a food type that is good for your puppy, but also that he or she will like it and enjoy it. A big step in the right direction in education and acquiring knowledge, and there are quite few things that most dog owners might be unaware of in regards to the dog food and its ingredients. Today we'll show you the 12 facts that you never knew about the dog food. Before we start, hit the like and share buttons and do subscribe to our channel for more cool videos. Number 1. The importance of proteins. Vegetarian and vegan diets may be the popular among human beings, but dogs need meat and protein for their bodies to function properly. Most scientists are convinced that the dogs are carnivorous, yet some argue to be omnivorous. But regardless of which, it is agreed that they do not thrive on meatless diet, and the only reason you would feed a diet without a meat is that your dog has some type of food allergy or sensitivity. Make sure your dog contains real meat high up on the ingredients list. Number 2. Deceitful product packaging. What you see isn't always that what you get, and when it comes to dog food, and not just because the bag has a big juicy steak pictured on the package. This isn't necessary that the real meat inside the bag has to be that tasty. Dear friend, what many dog owners are not aware of is that what is reflected on the outside may not represent what is inside. Make it a habit to flip the container over to read through the ingredients, and do not be too surprised if you do not find the dog food doesn't actually contain meat but only meat flavor. At this point, there is no rules or laws to prevent the dog from manufacturers from using a packaging that makes the food look better than as it is. This basically means that this is completely fine for them to decorate their lives and the food and with the juicy steaks or delicious grilled chicken as long as the food contains the flavor in the question. No real meat needed. Number 3. Animal byproducts. Animal byproducts sounds a lot to be in that, but because you might have to think, hey, dog eats, that's mine, so this must be good, isn't it? These types of ingredients usually come from the leftovers of a slaughterhouse, and it could be any part of the slaughtered animal, such as the bird beaks, the bones, the feet, etc. Basically, animal byproducts refer to any slaughterhouse leftovers that we demand unfit for being sold for human consumption, and there is no guarantee that it contains enough protein to meet the needs of your pet. Number 4. The grain-free food dog. Is it good or is it bad? The idea that the grain-free food dog, then the dog, is the grains that gained popularity in the recent years, as experts claimed dogs thrive when fed a diet closer to what their wild ancestors would have eaten in the past. This has, however, been some of the controversy in the recent years, where there have been indicators that the grain-free dog food might be linked to the heart problems in dogs. Naturally, these alarmed a lot of dog owners, so what is the truth? Is grain-free dog food good or is it bad? The answer is, it depends. Just like what any dog food, it's all about the quality. It's important to pick a product that uses the natural organic ingredients and adequate levels of protein, and since the studies came out, most respectable animal food brands have adjusted their ingredients by adding the additional taurine. Number 5. The truth about the meat meal. For those who know to avoid the animal byproducts, there's some general confusion regarding meat meal. What is it and whether is it good or bad for your dog? Some assume that the meat meal and animal byproducts are the same, and while there is connection, they can be potentially entirely different. Both come from the meat rendering process, and the meat meal is a dry product made from the combination of animal flesh and skin, but without any bone, feet, heats, and so on. It has been drained and the water content of the meat has been removed, while actually makes the meat even more richer in protein than a slab of fresh meat. Number 7. Smell is more important than taste. For dogs, what matters the most is actually the smell of the food they're eating, rather than the taste. A fun fact is that while humans have about 9,000 taste buds, allowing us to savor even the subtlest flavors, dogs only have 1,700. Smell, however, is a small, very different thing. Where humans have somewhere around 5 to 10 million sensory cells in their noses, dogs have only 125 million. When looking at it, it's like it suddenly makes a lot more sense while the smell of your dog's food is truly that matters. Number 8. What natural dog food really means. The term natural ingredients gets thrown around a lot nowadays, especially in relation to the pet food, but what does it actually mean? The AAFCO defines it as the ingredients that are derived from the animals or plants and which may have been rendered exposed to heat purification, hydrolysis, extraction, fermentation, or even enterosomolysis, but not to any of the chemically synthetic process. In plain English, so as to speak, this would refer to a product free from the artificial colors, the flavors, the preservatives, and the other ingredients. Worth noting, however, that just because a dog food is advertised as natural, it does not guarantee to be the quality of the product or the food. Number 9. Food quantities and how much we need to feed them. If you choose to change your dog's food, you also need to be paying attention to the feeding instructions that come with the product. A common misconception is that when you can feed the same quantity of the food regardless of the product, that is why the dog owners tend to continue feeding the same amount even when switching the brands. What quantity to feed the dogs entirely on the ingredients that have gone into making the dog food, as more protein, for example, might mean that your dog needs less of what they would be needing in a low quality dog food. Always check the feeding instructions and feed in accordance with your dog's weight. Last but not the least, number 10. Corn and other fillers. A very common ingredient in low quality dog food product is the corn, and some will also proudly be able to display the product packaging. There is nothing wrong with the corn and it's not harmful for your pet, but it also does not contribute to any nutrition as the canine body is unable to process it. The real reason why some brands have chosen to add is simply that it is a cheap product and that works well as a filler. Corn is not considered as a quality ingredient and has no place in the dog food. Its presence is usually as an indicator of the dog food in the question that might not be great. Can humans actually survive on dog food? Our dog serves our quality food, and many brands have the pride in themselves that while using the human-grade ingredients, this raises the question if a human could survive eating dog food, but the answer is most likely no. This is not because the dog food is bad, but more a result of the dogs and the humans needing different nutrition to thrive. Dogs, for example, do not require vitamin C in their food, as their bodies are able to produce enough of it themselves. Well, do not forget to wash the bowl, because we spend so much time and money to provide our dogs the best dog food. The most complete nutrition and ingredients that even fit are for the humans, but many dog owners forget it. The importance of washing the food bowl regularly. Can you imagine eating off from the same plate for days and weeks and months and years without washing or even cleaning it? This is the case for many dogs, and it may cause them health problems due to the bacterial growth. Always make sure to wash both the food and a water bottle as well as possible, and keep the area where your dogs eat to be clean. Hope you've liked this video. Stay tuned for more amazing facts that will boggle your mind. Let us know in the comment section what your thoughts are. Until then, have a great day.